And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On play action, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. A gain of 32 that time.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate Dalvin alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside. But let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 34.
Watch 18. Watch 18.
Let's 5-2. Let's 5-2. Lefty.
Now the first carry for Wendell Smallwood. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Come on now. Let's go.
On 2nd down, Smallwood. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
4 down. Check.
Please.
Kill. Hey, turn it out.
Down and man inside. Down and man.
Wentz now to throw. And Jeffrey's got it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Four down.
First down, a run with Smallwood. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Back deep, Golden Tate. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. On the return, it's Tate. Yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense. They affect
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from
that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Now a run with Cook. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Second down, Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Cousins on the keeper. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
They gain nothing, and all they need are inches. Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Usually we talk about O-line surge. Their D-line surge leading to 4th. Pretty move. How about another? His first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. So that is how we get our first points here in quarter number 2 on the punt return.
Both teams were seeking the momentum that comes from the first score of the game. But when it comes on a special teams play, a punt return, I think that's extra momentum. And now I wonder if they just roll it forward and maybe don't just kick the extra point, but possibly go for 2.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Wide.
Cousins now on second down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. They pitch out to Smallwood. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They give to Smallwood. And an alley run. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Lion.
Handoff comes to Smallwood. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Ram.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They run Smallwood. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Here's Ajayi. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jay Ajayi, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Now he's forced out left. Lets it fly for Thielen. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Again, this is Cook. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. They'll run with Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that'll make our score 14-7. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now Wentz. A dump off to Smallwood. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
4 down.
Wentz going to throw. Ertz has it left side. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Here's Smallwood. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. A run with Smallwood. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
82.
Here's Wentz to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Golden Tate in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. Cook able to escape. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Stephen Weatherly in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Hey, ram. Black, come on. Kill. Hey, Liz.
To throw is Wentz. And his throw here's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, we got 4.
52, great. Hey, stack.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. Breaking that one up, the former All-Pro Josh Norman. So getting in there to swat that one away, Josh Norman defensively.
I still remember the first time I saw him in person. It was a postseason college all-star game, and he's out of Coastal Carolina, and he was the buzz of the week. Everyone kept talking about that corner. Got to go back and do more work on him. It's paid off pretty darn well, hasn't it? Yeah. Josh Norman's had quite an impact in the NFL.
Coastal Carolina round 5, and now a stud. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another foot.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jordan Hicks coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Cousins now from the 50. And he's going to go down again. Jordan Hicks In there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Throwing his Cousins. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Cousins now out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Again, it's Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 37. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You've got a chance to rumble.
On play action, it's Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Everson Griffin able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Hey, boys, you got 4. 4 down.
46 down, man. 5-4.
Check, check, check.
Hey, other side. Solid, solid.
Now Wentz. Looking deep downfield. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Here comes Sherrills. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Open man as Thielen is complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot. Just
rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Black.
3rd and long for Cousins. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And incomplete. A disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Cousins to throw it. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Nigel Bradham in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
81. Lion. Great.
Wentz now on 1st down. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Toss play. This is Smallwood. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On second down, here's Wentz. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run with Smallwood out of the pistol. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys in the cornerback position.
I know you felt that one.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They get it to him running left. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Quaker Omaha! Hey, Steamer!
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks able to disrupt yet another pass play. His third sack of the afternoon. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage.
And how about this, a fake? And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Corey Graham. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. The safety, Rashad Jones, brings him down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
This is Ajayi, and he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
81.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Steps away to his left. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Eagles, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.